everyone. Welcome back to another AMA with Spintop Network. I'm Justin, the Partnerships Manager, and today we have Ben from BlockGames, and I don't want to spoil anything about BlockGames or Shatterpoint because he's the one answering. So tell us a bit about your background and your position, please.
Hi, Justin. Good to be here today. Thanks for inviting me over to the Spintop AMA sessions. So yeah, if you introduce a little bit. So my name is Ben. I'm the CEO and co-founder of BlockGames. BlockGames is a Web3 games publisher, and here today we will be speaking more about the Shatterpoint game, our first mobile free-to-play game, which we're publishing into the market, and we're planning to drop it in Jan.
Amazing. Congrats on that. So we are actually curious about Shatterpoint. Can you tell us about the Shatterpoint universe? How did you shape the game's lore so far? And the most curious thing is, what is the shattering?
So I think starting with the game. So the game is a free-to-play action RPG multiplayer game. It's built primarily for mobile platforms. So we'll be releasing it on both iOS and Android. In the game, you get to create an avatar, and with that avatar, you get to travel through these different environments of different gameplay modes, combining of PvE and PvP. And these environments are interconnected with portals. A bit of a reference to Rick and Morty, if you know the series. So you, as your avatar, you're traveling between these different worlds, trying to combat monsters, gather resources, craft assets, become stronger, while you also, on a side, get to enter team matches and compete against each other. So the whole unique mechanic around the Shatterpoint game is that Shatterpoint automatically resets through the shattering event at the end of each season. So seasons take between 1 to 2 months. And the entire universe resets, almost like in a cataclysmic point in time, which forces all of the avatars also to reset from the level perspective. So players are competing against each other to try and convert their avatars or try to get assets which wouldn't reset that next season. And all of those assets are tradable NFTs. So we've come up with the game. We've taken some inspiration from Diablo. Big fans of Diablo games, so inherited some of the core mechanics around abilities and gems. Although we kept also the entire playability more in a very much positive styled art, just to attract much more wider audiences. So yeah.
Amazing. I love the idea. I love Diablo as well. And I saw the fourth one is in pre-order. So in the future, are we going to see other games connected to Shatterpoint, but under the roof of BlockGames? And if so, how will they be a part of the universe? Will we be able to use the same NFTs, I can ask?
So good question. So I've mentioned previously, BlockGames is a Web3 games publisher. So Shatterpoint is just one of our first games which we're publishing into the market. However, we have additional 4 games already lined up for 2023. Again, similar style, free-to-play mobile platforms. So where we see the biggest benefit of interoperability is that you have one playing base in one game, and then once you add an additional game and you start publishing it as a publisher, it's easier for you to give and reward players something which is worth monetary value. And this way you can then invite or ask them to come and try your other game which you're publishing. So I think interoperability is then limited more from the publisher's perspective on that part, that we can connect these games where assets could be exchangeable into other game assets of a similar value. Whether these same assets could be used in other games, that's a bigger topic, and still contains a lot of challenges on the way of its completion, related to more of balancing and using same protocols and standards for you to for different teams on balancing these games. So right now we're more like trying to connect those games more from the higher level of the publisher, as none of our games are developed by in-house teams. We have partnerships with game studios whose games we are publishing.
Yeah, sounds like a plan, and you guys look like will be super busy in 2023. So you mentioned that Shatterpoint, I mean, has two game modes, the PvP and the PvE. And under these modes, I saw that there are many sub modes as well. Can you elaborate on those sub modes a bit for us?
Sure. So I think core loop is across PvE and PvP. So we have the campaign mode in the PvE mode, where players are competing, like against the level progression across all of these different environments, and they need to complete those different environments in order to gather resources and items, which are very much required for them to become stronger. And then on the side, we have the PvP mode, where PvP mode have arenas, again, set in these different environments, where players can either compete in 1 versus 1 or team versus team. So assembling a team allows you to win more rewards and gather more resources. While we also have a side mode under PvE, it's called Dungeons, skirmish mode, where you can then go in and enter these dungeons for resource gathering only, which is very much connected to the wider economy of assets which are distributed, within the game. I think the goal of all of these gameplay modes is that the goal within the game is that everybody is trying to compete against each other for limited assets as NFTs, which are distributed through limited challenges, which are claimed first come first serve basis. So we have limited amounts of tradable assets which we're distributing in the game, and everybody's competing through those challenges for them, and those challenges are interconnecting the whole gameplay modes. So in order for you to claim an NFT asset in the game, you might need to compete both in PvE campaign, dungeon modes, and then also enter PvP gameplay modes.
Yeah, great lore. So I read in your white paper that you have 5 different types of heroes in the game. Trevor, Shirai, Bay Knight, Admiral Finlay, Schofield, and Shah Tuzu. I hope I pronounced her name correct. She scares me, I can say. So do these heroes define a player's play style based on their skills and abilities, or are they just cosmetics?
So yes, we define actually a playstyle based on their skills. So each hero has 3 starting skills of agility, strength, and constitution. Although once you start playing with those heroes, the only way to level them up is through equipment gear, which you receive in the gameplay. Equipment, by the way, is not tradable, so you need to grind out the power of your hero. What's unique is that as heroes level up, the maximum level is 50, and heroes level up every 10 levels, unlocking a trait. Each trait allows the hero to unlock something unique about itself. And trait contains a unique either playstyle or a buff. An example of that would be a specific shield, which Shatsu gets to perform in a defense position for 3 seconds while Bay Knight is attacking her, for example. So this way, we have these unique buffs, which then each avatar gets to progress to by the time we're level 50. And all of those also traits are categorized in different types of common, uncommon, and legendary. So this way, also those traits are only unique for that avatar. And then what happens is that all of those heroes by level 50 are unique. Each player has a unique type of hero. Some of them are very unique, some of them are less unique, but that's what really creates the rarity.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So are those legendary types also NFT types in the game? And if so, what are the utilities of the NFTs exactly? Can players benefit from them?
Sure. So we have, for the moment, three type of NFT asset classes scheduled in the game. So we have heroes. So heroes can be non-NFT and NFT at the same time. The unique part about NFT heroes is that after the shattering event, they get to keep their unique playstyle and traits, which we have unlocked, while the rest of the free-to-play avatars reset. Then we have runes, which are used more like gems to add into your equipment gear to strengthen your abilities. And abilities are very much related to your skill-based, to the skill-based gameplay. Runes also come in different types, and runes are then used to be merged and traded in order to get stronger runes into your equipment. So there's a whole economy behind runes. And then finally, we have cosmetics. We are more collectibles. We have different types of cosmetics coming out, mainly wearables, but also we have some other unique cosmetics, which I cannot yet announce anything.
Great. So just to remind everyone, don't forget to join Shatterpoint's Discord, Telegram, and follow them on socials. And if you want to play the game, let's see, how can a new player jump right into the Shatterpoint? Do I need to buy anything? You said it's free to play. What do I need to do?
So firstly, the game is not yet live. The game is going to be live and open as of March. So right now, the players can participate in a free mint, which grants them guaranteed access into the closed alpha, which starts in January.
Great. And before going further, I'm actually curious about your mint because I know it's close, it's near. And can you tell us more about your mint details?
Sure. So we are doing right now the first Shatterpoint mint. So I've briefly mentioned about the heroes. So we're right now doing additional type of NFTs of same heroes, though they will be unique from appearance perspective. So the basic NFT heroes, which are distributed in the game, we have uncapped quantity, and you've seen them already from white paper and our website. However, we are right now doing a founder NFT mint, which is a free mint, taking place on the 15th of December. We will be the first Polygon project to mint on Magic Eden. And the founder hero NFTs are the same playable avatars in the game. They give you a guaranteed access into the game for closed alpha and all of the other follow-up openings of the games. Founder Hero NFTs will receive feature airdrops of all of the NFT assets which will be distributed through the game. So this way, we are allowing for all of the new assets which we introduce into the game to be first always be distributed into the founder NFTs holders for free. A lot of in-game and out-of-game perks like unlimited free tournaments and access to paid special events in the game will also access to the founder VIP Discord, where we get to meet the team closer, get all of the sneak peeks, and get always earlier announcements of what's happening within the game or feature drops, including then exclusive merch and other cool features which will be shared along the way.
Wow, sounds great. You heard it, guys. Don't forget to mint. So what are the main ways, when you launch, what will be the main ways to earn tokens and NFTs in game?
So I don't like this question around like earning, since our experience in our prior experience, especially from the game development team, which is creating Shatterpoint game, is very much very extensive. We have 10 years in building out free-to-play mobile games, and also our position as BlockGames is that any game which we introduce into the world, it needs to be focused around gameplay, not earnings. This is not a financial instrument. So the way we look into any Web3 games which we publish is that games are there at the core, like gameplay needs to be at the core of the game. Also, in addition to that, games are platforms for socializing with friends. And yes, right now, you get to also play all of these Web2 games, which are very much popular and big account right now for for the entire industry. Though sometimes you want to try and get your assets out, which like you spend so much time grinding or paid so much money on to get those in the game. So we're doing actually exactly the same. Like there's not going to be any tokens or any like liquid cryptocurrencies added in the game. Only some NFT assets, not all, only some digital assets will be made as NFTs, which will be tradable. And this way, like we are allowing for that ability of like stopping to play the game and taking those assets out of the game, but also for like there's an economy behind that, behind collectibles and few assets which have utility for trading also behind it. So we're designing this game in a way that gameplay would lead first, and then earning would come as a side feature where players at some point could then sell those assets to the market through the marketplace to their other peer gamers. Probably one thing also to take away, one thing also to highlight here is that NFT assets are then liquid only to an extent which how we design the game economy to be, or what game systems we introduce in the game. Since if players won't need that asset, which if players which we're pulling them in tomorrow won't need any assets which the players received yesterday, there's not going to be any economy on that side. So the reason why that's also the main reason why we've excluded tokens and made only few assets as NFTs in the game to limit pay to win and to really control the velocity of those assets movement within the game.
Amazing. Personally, I think the same. I mean, the crypto industry, I mean, the gaming crypto industry needs better games which are not focused on earning only, because that's when they will actually gather Web2 transitions and we will bring players into the place actually. So I can ask about a player then. What should a new player focus on in the game to be a better player?
So the player core loop is for you to try and survive the shattering event. So whenever you start in the game, like you get to like you get into the entire gameplay and you have like this clock ticking, which is like which says that there is like this time period left until the shattering takes place, and that's the moment where the entire Shatterpoint universe implodes. So your goal as a player is to try and compete against others over these limited achievements to try and convert your free-to-play avatar into an NFT. If you have already an NFT avatar, then your goal is different, participating in various tournaments and special events where you are participating for various tournament rewards or additional kind of like gameplay rewards, which allow you to become even stronger or get those collectible assets, which then only few people get to have.
Good, good, good. I have one last question before going on to the community ones. Well, there is an issue that we can't look away, and it is actually in-game hackers that we are dealing with nowadays. And how is Shatterpoint planning to prevent the in-game hackers?
So probably by hackers, you mean bots. The way we look into them is that like there are a lot of like anti-bot softwares out there which you need to like take into account, and you can only fish out bots. Like every game has bots, but you can try and fish them out by introducing various systems and mechanics in your game on that front. And in addition to that, in addition to that, anything which we are making tradable as any asset which we're making tradable, we're thinking what do the players need to do in order to receive it. So we are thinking and we are complicating that entire environment, and of course we're not making it static so that anybody would be able to replicate it. Like that environment and what actions you do to win a tradable asset is shifting and varying week to week. So for you, it's very hard to automate a bot in order to try and win those NFT assets because it will require you a lot of resources, and that's how we're tackling this.
Sounds great. So those were all my questions. Hopefully I asked everything and hopefully you answered everything. In case we missed anything, guys, I encourage everyone to join Shatterpoint socials and ask them. I'm sure they will be happy to help. And today we have 5 winners on our Twitter giveaway for this AMA. They have won one whitelist spot each, and they will be able to free mint a Shatterpoint NFT in the upcoming drop. So I'm going with number 1 at Zitivapo. Will Shatterpoint be a play to earn game? If so, have you already planned a tokenomics? You already answered this one, but maybe you can answer about the tokenomics once again.
Sure. So I think like we call Shatterpoint a free to own game. So we're not like all of the assets which are distributed in the game are distributed for free to the player base, and the whole tokenomics around, like the whole economy of NFT assets is built around those assets which I've aforementioned before in the previous question. So our approach is that Shatterpoint is a free-to-play, free-to-own game where some of the assets are made as NFTs, and this allows us to introduce and invite user base as co-owners in the game's economy. So there is a game, like the economy is built primarily around the assets, which are then distributed within the game.
Thank you. Let's go with number 2 at GraziQT. As the first Polygon network project to be launched at Magic Eden, how confident are you regarding people's interest on Shatterpoint?
So yeah, we are very excited to be launching our first free mint on Magic Eden as the first Polygon project. Although this is more for giving back to our community and user base, and of course, attracting more of the free community into the project. Although the success of the Shatterpoint project will be very much dependent as we go into the new year and we really start distributing this game through traditional mature Web2 distribution channels, which are very much proven, and through those channels we're able to reach like millions of users to onboard into the game. So just want to highlight here that like our success is not very much dependent on the mint. The mint is more as an event which allows us to get and enter the closed alpha, and as of closed alpha we are then focusing on distributing the game into the wider audience. So we haven't yet started distributing the game to Web2 traditional gamers, and we can only do that as of the time that we have a closed alpha, fully playable closed alpha, where we can already start that entire go-to-market plan. Until then, all of our actions are very much aligned and focused towards the Web3 community to get them as a core of the base, which is again crucial at later stages as we'll be setting the base for the game economy to flourish.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan. Let's go with number 3 at Artem Gura 2. Are there any plans to integrate Discord roles, achievement, and activities directly into the game?
So achievements and activities are integrated through challenges, and they are already like integrated through the system, but we are distributing those NFTs through achievements and challenges and activities in the gameplay. Discord roles, no, but I've seen actually Discord entering also that free space. We've just announced an integration with Solana, so we're closely following Discord, since Discord will be our key place for our community to engage and communicate. So cannot yet tell, but a very interesting route on that front.
Thank you. Number 4 from K Mary Girl. What's the project's roadmap for 2023? You have already told us some things. Maybe you have something that you're hiding, or maybe something that you can tease for us.
Of course. So maybe I'll tell the roadmap what happens as of the mint, which takes place in 4 days on Magic Eden. So firstly, we do the founder NFT mint. Secondly, those founder NFTs are dynamic and they will change in unique ways. How, I cannot tell you, but there is something secret hidden in them. The entire community will find out and that evolution will take place ahead of the closed alpha, which drops on the third week of January. Following closed alpha, we will be doing a lot of testing and really analyzing the core loop of the game to ensure that the game is playable, it's fun, very easily understandable, until we're gonna hit soft launch. So that's where we start really pushing out this game through limited regions as of March, targeting our player base. And we will continue doing that and doing additional various A/B tests on game mechanics, monetization strategies, and so on, until we will know that we have a fully worked out product to really enter the global launch, which is right now scheduled for Q3. Along the way, we're going to do a lot of our like community-driven events focused around NFTs. Cannot exactly share what and how, but those events will be related to how the lore will evolve. So I'm very excited as we go and take this game out into the global launch ahead of Q3 next year. As we'll grow drastically the base of our community, as we will start really targeting traditional gamers, which right now really account for 99.9% of the total player base globally.
Thank you. So guys, don't forget to follow BlockGames and Shatterpoint on Twitter, because Ben didn't want to spoil a lot for us, but I'm sure they will share soon. So last question is from Fatu Alexis. Can we earn valuable currency while playing?
So I've mentioned already, like, we're very conscious on this like earning mechanism. Why? Because earning breaks the games. We can look into all of the other play-to-earn games which have been released prior over the last year and a bit. And once you introduce an earnable currency in the game, what happens is that players stop playing the core gameplay loop, and we start thinking how to extract more of that reward which we're receiving for, and that breaks the games. So we are very conscious on what to introduce and what to make tradable. I can assure you right now, no, it's not going to be possible to earn a valuable currency while playing, only by participating in tournaments and special events, which will require much more input of your time rather than just competing in a 5-minute gameplay loop each day.
Great. So I'm really curious about how Shatterpoint will be. So I will try and mint myself. I encourage everyone to do it. Those were all our questions and the community questions. Thank you everyone for joining in, for asking questions. And before closing, have you got anything to add, Ben?
Yeah, so I think one thing, key moment to highlight is that Founder NFT collection is minting on the 15th of December. It's 5 p.m. UTC. We are minting for free through whitelist spots. We still have plenty of whitelist spots to be distributed over the next few days over Discord. So jump into our Discord and evolve and join the whole Shatterpoint journey through this Founder NFT collection as we will evolve in mysterious ways. That's some alpha. I cannot share more, but look forward to seeing you all in the closed alpha. And
yes,
thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a genuine pleasure. So everyone, thank you for being with us today. Don't forget to subscribe and like, you know, it helps the algorithm. And thanks, Shatterpoint. Thank you, BlockGames, for being a part of our partnerships. See you soon in the next AMA. Goodbye.
Cool. Perfect. Thanks, Justin. Bye. Ciao.